Oh, there it is. Oh, hello there. I just had to come back and retrieve my hat. You see, I was visiting the stage to see all the improvements that have been done around here. Do you have a moment for a quick story? Well, good. It was on about the time that I was getting out of college. The country was in a depressed state. It just wasn't a lot of money to be had. Now, I got by as best as I could, we all did. But the economy was in dire straits. And stages, well, they weren't to be spared from the wrath. Now, during this time, I journeyed from stage to stage, and there was this one particular stage that I landed upon. Let me tell you about it. It was the poster child for Dust Bowls. You see, every time the curtains would be touched, it was like somebody shook a snow globe. There was so much dust that was falling on the stage. I swear every time I was rendered into a 20-minute sneezing fit, my nose and throat would itch for days, and my eyes were often as red as an Oklahoma sunset. Well, there was history in these stages' curtains too. Well, I know that because one time I was meeting with some students and their parents, and there was his mother that was like, well, glory be, those curtains are still here? They were old when I was in school. I remember one time in Miss Miller's class, Casey swung from the front stage like he was Tarzan. See, there's still duct tape up there when Tommy had to fix it. And then another parent chimed in, well, there's my initials. I had to sign my work, you see, I spilled black stage paint on them. It was a Wednesday. Well, I knew that because it was the day after George Bush was elected. I'm talking about the first George Bush. A couple years later, I found an old script for A Christmas Carol while I was cleaning out a prop closet. It must have been a TD's copy because there was notes in the margin for sound effects. One particular note made me chuckle. It seems like every time old Jacob Marley's ghost would wander on stage, the sound effect direction was to shake the back curtain so the chain that had fallen through the bottom would rattle on the stage. And of course, every year, the first day of class, there was always that question. It was always asked by a freshman. It was usually asked by a young lady. And it would go something like, what color are those curtains supposed to be anyway? Because And one year, an upperclassman answered it. He was like, oh, that's nothing. That's just Joseph's Technicolor Dreamcoat. Everybody's a comedian. Truth is, I never did find out what the right answer was, because anybody who knew what the original color was had long since retired. Oh, and then I had these two football players. They thought they were going to take drama class so they could get an easy A. I came on stage one time, and one of them was swinging from the mid-stage draw cord like he was Peter Pan. Well, now those draw cords are tied way up yonder, so they can't be reached. And they never did get their A, of course. I don't know what happened to them, but I heard one was in jail and the other one was a high school principal somewhere. Oh, and you gotta love the summer humidity. It would shrink those cotton velours like nobody's business. I had a stagehand that nicknamed them High Waters. He'd always say, Mr. Jode, you want me to leave the high waters open or closed when I leave today? Don't even get me started on inspectors. I'll be here all day and you don't have the time. But this one guy, Inspector Knowles, didn't really say a lot, but he would scurry around the stage like he was an infected rat. And the only thing he would ever say was, where are the labels? Where are the labels? You got an FI certificate? You got an FI certificate? Oh, drove me nuts. Now, don't get me wrong, and it all wasn't bad, and if I've given you that impression, then I do apologize. When the economy got better and new budgets were approved and everything, things got nicer on the stages. I was even able to get that newfangled polyester IFR velour that they're using now. It's so much easier to keep looking nice. They don't shrink. You don't have to retreat them for fire resistancy ever. And you can even clean them. You can spot clean them with water and a sponge. You can't do that with the old stuff. Yeah, you know what? They're even the same color today than they were the first day we hung them. But, I do appreciate your time, and, it is certainly good to talk with you. And, these Lux Out curtains, best made curtains, best looking curtains in the country. Life sure has gotten a lot easier on our stages.